When you go to work, you just wonder, what kind of assignment am I having today? You're just wondering, what am I gonna, what patients am I gonna take care of today? You are just worried and wondering how gonna be the night be, because it was a very critical flow. And my experience during COVID was the worst. COVID-19 was a challenge to the whole world. One time I went to work and looked at the assignment. I had almost 7 patients, and all these 7 patients are coronavirus patients. They are infected with virus, and during those days you have a special unit that designed to take care of the COVID-19 patients. And then there was this day I took care of the patient, and then I left the unit. You know, they usually designate a special area where they take care of this patient. So I left that area, go to the nurse station, and the news I received were not pleasing. And you are busy here taking care of the coronavirus patients that are coughing in your face. They are very sick. And then come out of that area, go meet your staff mates in the nursing station. They tell you that, you remember nurse so and so? He was admitted in the hospital and he just passed away from coronavirus. Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, Frida and Moses channel. Remember to subscribe to this channel, remember to like and share with your friend. As I've said in the last video, that I'm gonna share my work experience in the previous job place, and that was during COVID-19 time. It was very challenging. So I worked in New Jersey before I relocated here in Virginia. So the hospital was kind of a step down ICU, and the patients were very critical, very, very critical. And most of the patients were on ventilators. They can't breathe them by themselves. For those who don't know what the ventilators are, these are patients who are their breathing supported by an external machine. So they were on ventilators, they were on critical drips, and it was a mess. It was a mess there. It was heavy. And the workload, it was also heavy. Here, in my current job, the maximum patient I can be assigned is 4 patients. But in the previous workplace, 6 patients is the max. Sometimes they go to 7 depending on who was called out, not coming to work. So it was not easy. 6 patients on critical drips, on ventilators, and on top of that, you do not have teamwork. We didn't have teamwork there. You go to work, you're on your own. It was so stressful for everyone. So there was no teamwork. If a patient needs an IV line, you have to do it by yourself. And most of these patients are so swollen, built up with the fluid, that finding an IV line is very challenging. You need to get blood work for the lab for this patient. It was very, very challenging and time consuming. And most of these patients were bed bound. Bed bound means they cannot do anything. They cannot even turn by themselves. So it's like you have to do everything for these patients. It was very heavy. When you go to work, you just wonder, what kind of assignment am I having today? You're just wondering, what am I gonna, what patients am I gonna take care of today? You are just worried and wondering how gonna be the night be, because it was a very critical flow. It was a very, very critical flow. I remember the time I had a patient who was in a critical state, and she was on a ventilator, and she was on critical drips, and her body was so swollen, and she was like, and the skin was peeling off. It was not easy, and I didn't have teamwork to help, but I thank God I managed through, and the patient was okay. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And my experience during COVID was the worst. COVID-19 was a challenge to the whole world, but for the healthcare workers, it was really tough for us. I remember going to work and maybe in my car wondering how many patients am I going to receive today. So this one time I went to work and looked at the assignment. I had almost 7 patients, and all these 7 patients are coronavirus patients. They are infected with the virus. And during those days, you have a special unit that designed to take care of the COVID-19 patients, COVID-19 virus patients. So it was not easy, gowning and everything with these patients. Some of them are very stubborn. Some of them, they don't want, they are confused. It was not easy. I remember there's a time I went to work, I received my assignment, and it was I had to take care of the COVID-19 patients, coronavirus infected patient. So that day it was very hard time. I had a patient that most of the patients were very confused. They were very stubborn, and you have several who are on ventilators. So when a patient is on a ventilator, you have to keep monitoring that patient, and that means you have to stay in that room for much longer than you are supposed to stay in that room. Some of them are coughing directly in your face. Even though you have all the masks on you, you have all the shield, you have everything, they're coughing on your face. But we are in a state where we don't know where this virus is heading to. For coughing, people just uncooperative. It was hard. It was tough. It was very, very tough. And then there was this day I took care of the patient, and then I left the unit. They usually designate a special area where they take care of this patient. So I left that area, go to the nurse station, and the news I received were not pleasing. And you are busy here taking care of the coronavirus patients that are coughing in your face. They are very sick. And then come out of that area, go meet your staff mates in the nursing station. They tell you that, you remember nurse so-and-so? He was admitted in the hospital and he just passed away from coronavirus. And there you are, you have patient coughing on your face. It was not easy. It was not easy. And I'm telling you, I always prayed to God to help me through. I always asked God to help me through, and it was a matter of faith. It was a matter of faith. I remember focusing to God and just telling God, you have to prevail in this situation. You have to prevail in this situation, because taking care of patient with the coronavirus is not easy. There is that process of gowning, make sure you're all well gowned, and it's going to the patient's room, making sure they are okay, and dealing with a stubborn patient or patient with confusion is not easy. So it takes the hand of God, and you have to pray a lot for this. And the work environment in my previous station was not the best one. I told you there was no teamwork. There was a heavy workload. We didn't have IV nurse to insert IV lines for you. We didn't have lab technicians to draw blood for you. Everything was on you, and it was very, very heavy. So coming on my new workstation here in Virginia, I will tell you, it's 100% good. Because I don't have much to spend struggling with my patient. They are all independent. They can do stuff by themselves. They are not very critical. And I would say it's better working here in Virginia than working in New Jersey. New Jersey, the workload is heavy. It's very, very heavy. No wonder most of the nurses never used to stay at the workplace for a long time. They'll apply for a job today. After 3 weeks, they quit. Or 4 weeks, they quit. 10 weeks, they quit because it's heavy. Here, there's a different. People stay at work for a very long time, for many, many years. Yeah, so that's it. It was very heavy, and I thank God wherever I am. So that's what I wanted to share about my previous workstation, and hope you loved the video. Hope some of you want to get into healthcare, you got inspired, and maybe I have prepared you mentally to take the risk if you wish. But it's worthy. If you have the heart to take care of the people and make them better, this is the job, and it's nothing hard. You can do it. Schoolwork is hard, but if you determine to do it, you will do it. So thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to this video so that we may continue bringing you new videos, educating videos, entertaining videos, so that you may learn more about our life. So subscribe, share with your friend, and remember to like.